Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you today. Just got back from the gym, so maybe a little bit messy, but I'm going to get right into the read. It is April 25th, 2019. The 25 is the Knight of Wands. So it's that very passionate energy riding in. It could be about getting errands done today, or just getting moving, maybe going to the gym, or maybe passionately riding in to see someone. The day adds up to, what is it today? 44 today? Oh, yesterday. 41. Yeah. So we're in the 41, the Ace of Cups energy today, along with that Knight of Wands. So it's very passionate, loving energy. Could be just getting busy physically to love yourself first. The read for the masculine today was done at 10:25, so we have the 25 again of the Knight of Wands. And the major arcana for the masculine today was Karma and Strength. This is a Sirian Starseed deck. And Karma is normally the Judgment card, and Strength is Strength. There were 4 Wands, 3 Cups, 1 Pentacle, 1 Sword today. And the only court cards were the King of Cups in the recent past, and then the card after the read was the Knight of Cups. The numbers around the code line were all about new beginnings, and the numbers were 7, 84, 65, 4, 160, 44, 77, 88, the sequence 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 47, 78, 47 is the 7 of Cups, 78 is the 10 of Pentacles, 45 is the 5 of Cups, 56, which is the 2 of Swords, 67, which is the Knight of Pentacles, 89, and then 43, 11. So if you break that down, 43 is the 3 of Cups, and 11 is Justice. Also, as I started to read, the number 70 came up, which is the 2 of Pentacles, okay, and in the Sirian Starseed deck, the 2 of Pentacles is about surrender. And surrender was definitely coming up for the feminine today, too, actually for when I did a read for myself today. And 708, as well as 27, 270, and 48. So a lot of numbers came up today. But for the masculine, all about new beginnings. And the code line definitely had the 5 of crystals in it as recovering in a practical or financial way. But also the number 7084 came up in the code line. But it's all about the feminine within the masculine, like giving that source support, that strength for mastering the King of Pentacles energy so it could be energy or finances, but again, it's of a practical nature for a new beginning. The divine feminine in the divine masculine is the source of strength for support back for the feminine, the Sophia 9, or the feminine collective consciousness, to recover in a practical or financial way for your new beginning. So you helping your masculine can only in turn help you. Divine feminine in the divine masculine, also strong emperor support for the feminine, Sophia 9, the King of Pentacles practically for a new beginning. And the King of Pentacles could even come up as the masculine mastering her practical world, especially along with the emperor coming up as the masculine. So it's remembering that the partnership is there for a reason. Even if you're not seeing it in the 3D, it's important for you to work as one together. You know, you're mastering the etheric realms and the masculine's mastering the 3D realms, and you're working as a team in order to come together across that 4D bridge for your new beginnings. So there was very positive energy here. So as we start the read, we have the 8 of Flames and then the 7 of Crystals back there, which for me in this deck, this is the feminine's, that's the divine feminine's heart. That's why I always say the E tower, because you see the top of that tower looks like an E. But for me, this is the divine feminine's heart. Here's my confirmation. So slingshot, this is a lot of stuff was coming up interesting today. Slingshot, Evel Knievel, practicing with the ball machine like came up the other day, over and over to get the hit just right, and a landing with the divine feminine heart supporting him fully. expressing feelings over and over again until it's easy to receive each other because you already know what's coming at you. It doesn't work to not express feelings because they will always come to light. False light, then, an interpretation of your point of view because you didn't express it to begin with. Also, when you keep your feelings in too long, they end up coming out like a machine gun, one right after the other, like the tennis ball or baseball machine, out of whack, or an assembly line that's going much too fast. You can't keep up, and it breaks everything down eventually. Leaning over the balcony or out the window and spirits connecting, or over the 4D bridge, at twins, once together in harmony, in the 5D garden with flowers in, the Knight of Pentacles energy as an offer of new life is actually from God, boldly coming in with a vengeance, new passionate growth handed to you in the form of a microphone and a traveling show. Can't get to the other side of the road, or that 4D bridge, unless you travel there. Source support to travel. Be sexual together and speak on what you know. Traveling puppet show. Like Evel Knievel, just keep jumping until you perfect your landing. The end of the gymnast routine until you stick it every time. When bored of your routine, then mix it up a bit. So as I turn the pages, 1051 and 51 is the King of Swords. Angels fly with you. You're never alone. Michael and Metatron, protection. No fear. Use your wings to discover the key to your portal. You hold your creativity in your right hand, along with your ability to manifest and move mountains out of the way. The clouds rolling, just residual from poof, your magic show riding along in your jack-in-the-box chariot. You never know which one you're gonna get. That is what makes it so much fun. And then there was something on one of the cards that brought some symbolism again in here. So when I wrote the exclamation point for so much fun, the card was showing me the lowercase I again, because it's the opposite of the exclamation point, right? There's one on the... Here, I'm going to show this to you here. I don't have the same cards out because I was doing another read before I started the video. But just so you get an idea, so in this chariot card, you see how the wings are above the keyhole? Alright, so they were giving me the message here. If you outline the wings on the above the keyhole, you know it's an M for Mary Magdalene. Okay, and then the cross is symbolic, of course, for Jesus. So this is showing Mary Magdalene above Jesus on the cross, and that Mary Magdalene already contains that gold coin within her heart, but that the masculine needs to learn to connect with his higher self in order to connect to both. Okay, so there's a lot of symbolism here. So you travel as one, flanked by the dogs, Metatron and Michael. And Thoth wanted to be thrown in there as well. As one, the lowercase I, the divine masculine, the I am the wand, the catalyst for the growth, and the divine feminine, the gold coin that she offers at birth. Because when the mother gives birth, like I was explaining this past couple weeks about this gold coin theory, that she gives away her gold coin, her Christ consciousness, to the child. So she always has this to give to the child. The divine feminine, the gold coin, she offers at birth, so that's representing her. The rod and staff, the lines across, represent the bond of expansion of the masculine running through it. The notes on the page. Okay, so think of a literal music clef, okay? These are the codes that we're supposed to receive, right? Because the rod and staff, the staff of the music is 5, I don't have 5 fingers because one's a thumb, but you get it, right? So the staff of the music that the notes are on has the rod here, and then the staff are the 5 lines that go into the G clef, okay? So there's a combination here, and you notice it's called the G clef, or the God clef. Mary Magdalene is the two mountains, like the angel wings, and her deep crevice between. So as Mary Magdalene, that M in the wings, so is the crevice of her cleavage where she keeps her heart. Okay? So the cleavage is the gold coin because the heart is contained there. The center of the vertical and horizontal energy lines. The two, and also was coming up the 2 inches below the belly button, the center of gravity, the center of the physical lines. So etherically, I was getting this, and it's funny because when you lift weights, the bar would hold right across, just like that, and then the actually center of gravity of your body is just below the belly button line. So that's like the energetic line for the physical body that's coming up here. So if you draw across, with the vertical energy line across both of those two lines, there's more information that's coming up here as far as codes. So the Sophia wings and the Christ gold coin. So the Sophia is the Mary Magdalene wings, and then the Jesus on the cross, also with the Christ gold coin above his head. But he needs to connect with his higher self in order to make the connection. In her heart and above his head, he must reach from the I to his higher self, to his Mary Magdalene, his wings. So I was also getting, so look at some, it's just 1144, so that's the justice and the mastering of it. Look at some music, paper, music, written out with notes. If you take the C clef and the G clef, because they both have like a center dot on them, and if you combine them together, it gives you the energy of the circular motion of energy, but also of the chakra, okay? And then it was also bringing in here, and you notice that the C clef is half of a heart. And these have come up for me before, and I still need to piece this together a little bit, but it's definitely all about the rod and staff. And it was also connecting to the atom. And the way the atom, if you look at the symbol of the atom, you have the three ovals, basically, of the electrons around the nuclei. But where they connect creates a triangle, like this. And so there's definitely messages in there. So you might want to just look at it and see what you get from it. Look at the G clef, look at the C clef, look at the rod and staff. So the rod is the upright masculine energy and the staff is the feminine. Okay? And this is like him also running through the toroidal field to create that that cyclone, that energy. The rod as the masculine energy, the catalyst, through the feminine fields. So there's definitely, I have to work on that a little bit, but there's definitely messages here that we all need to work on. So if something resonates with you, please let me know in the comments. So there's also the Omega portal coming up, the horizon line, the Bermuda Triangle, the castle on the hill. And there is actually a castle on the hill in Bermuda. And if you notice also, before I forget, if you draw an outline around no, thank you. If you draw a line around the G clef symbol, it looks like the profile of a pregnant woman. So check that out as well. So the Omega portal, the horizon line, Bermuda Triangle, castle on a hill, speak about the stars and constellations and the Simpsons clouds, autocumulus clouds and blue skies. Looking in on your children and traveling to see them now for the masculine, to inspire their, and this could be for the feminines as well, okay? Because we both have the masculine and the feminine energies. So whenever you're talking about one or the other, it doesn't really matter because we're both trying to balance both. So looking in on your children, there's that energy now, or traveling to see them to inspire their gold coins, to ground their omega, which is the end of the karmic cycle. Remember that horseshoes are not natural, and those poor horses' feet never actually touch the ground. Death and transformation are out to be seen here. A manipulation, a placeholder of sorts. So you may have parents who have been ill, who are actually grid holders for the union to come together. A placeholder of sorts, so your passions couldn't run away with you. Manipulations on the warpath, who lie, cheat, and steal, are now being cleared out of the way for you. And as I was doing a lot of this read, that aggressive energy, just like I spoke of the other day about the lawnmowers, when they come onto the property, it feels like very aggressive masculine energy. Well, today the township was with their big mowers across the street, which they never do, and I always want them to, and they're finally actually making it look a little bit nicer than it used to. But again, that very aggressive masculine energy is coming in today with that loud noise that comes your way. As I turned the page, it was 11:49, and 49 is the Get Your Wish card. It's the 9 of Cups, about finding your satisfaction, your happiness alone. So all of these energies are getting cleared out of the way for you. So the dead stuff needs to come up to be cleared. Death and transformation is out to be seen. A manipulation, a placeholder of sorts, so your passions couldn't run away with you initially when you started the journey. Manipulators who have been there on the warpath, who lie, cheat, and steal, are now being cleared out of the way for you. The dead weeds and shrubs to make way for the new. Heads roll, dogs falling, those who tried to get away with murder or just running away from the madness. After the end of the war is the looting, the stealing, seeing what they can get away with when no one is looking. But the universe is always looking in on the children to see if they are being good to each other and not running away when the going gets tough, but sticking it out with those that you love. So the past life relationship card came up as the underlying energy, and beneath that was stay optimistic about your love life for the masculine. The Empress, who's been controlling the divine masculine's moves and what he was actually inspired to do, two different things. The wounded warrior tells his nightmare of darkness and obsession, cutting cords, cutting hair perhaps, or trying to get away from the drama and chaos, but kept getting roped back in. Black cat always tripping him up, crystals and tripods that are not his devices, all sorts of things going on behind his back without him knowing, not using his intuition. With birds and goats, stingers and flames, he just wasn't connecting the dots. He was too preoccupied with how to free himself from his nightmare. Mother and son issues perhaps, or mother and daughter duo controlling his life. And here those big lawnmowers were coming in aggressively. It was 12:01, going into the PM, the time of the sun, right? So patience came up as underlying energy also, which is number 2 of the High Priestess. And then underneath that was leadership of 81. And 81 in the Divine Triangle numerology book is the completion of the life cycle. So it's like after age 81, you get to choose what you want. So the King of Cups reversed. The King of Cups reversed and disconnected from self when needs to know more information for clarity instead of relying on their knowing, their intuition, or needing closure in order to open heart to the world with their mask on. That doesn't work. You have to let go before you can take something new in. And you can't wear your mask where you're going. You have to let go of all illusions of who you are. So need for closure and to open heart to world with mask on without judging. Without judging is deliberating. It means indecision. It is a need to know. So listen, this is very important. Everyone says that you shouldn't judge, but everything we do is judging. I don't know if the mailman's at my mailbox talking on the phone. I don't know what they're saying. So it's very important about this world, the judgment card. All right, so the judgment card, when it's reversed for me, is about deliberation. It's about poor decision making. But it's also about not judging. And we always judge. You can't make a decision without judging. Okay? So it's not about not judging. It's about not having negative judgments about other people. Because we're always going to make decisions about our life. So when you realize that judging, that with non-judgment is deliberating, and that deliberating is the place that you don't want to be, because you don't want to be at the place at the crossroads where you have to make a quick decision, because that's where you start getting into your head and going into brain wars. So it's fear and anxiety, all that stuff happens because of the need to make a decision, and you can't. Whereas all the universe wants you to do is just pick one or the other. They don't really care which one. It's the indecision that is a need to know the outcome. When you already know, when you have faith in your knowing, you are denying your emerald order lineage. You're sticking your foot. It's like sticking your foot in an electric socket on purpose, at cross purposes, don't you think? Like blowing your horn really loud, as opposed to gentle announcements of knowing and guidance. So that, the really loudness of the big lawnmowers, coming at you, it's very aggressive. So deliberation of slinging arrows in a new passion to steal back what was taken in a past life relationship, obsession, there must be much patience instead. Much patience is needed. Recently here, for the masculine, is the King of Cups, or the Master of Chalices in this deck. The King of Cups feeling the Divine Feminine at his back etherically, knowing she's there for him, while he reaps and decides his worth and daydreams of synchronicities and how to strategize, orchestrate, and harnessing of radiation, or that third energy. And at this time it was 12-12. Okay, being wise and how to conserve that third energy between them. So I turn the page, walking away from the masculine, walking away from sovereign, with an opportunity for the gold coin to get his gold coin back, with the high priestess or psychic abilities, or the divine feminine who he had offered help to in the past, or he's walking away from a Viking priestess, so could be representative of the karmic, and kids he offered help to also. But he's also now following his guidance to do whatever he's being called to do. So there's a lot of passionate back and forth here, deliberation and risky behavior. The foundation is the Four of Flames. It's home or union. The King of Pentacles ending family cycle, happy with his gold coin, getting his confidence back, as the King of Wands reversed may be pissed, like feeling like a failure and not getting attention from the King of Pentacles, or the King of Pentacles is ending family ties because he is that King of Wands reversed, sick and tired of no attention and feeling like a failure when he's not at home. When he's not at home. Feeling like a failure when he's not a failure while at home. Centrally is the Six of Cups, the twins and or kids, impatient, without affection, healing and forgiving by going within during this awakening process. The challenge being recovery of abandonment wounds, the Emperor purging or crying at home, or Emperor dealing with Queen of Cups reversed. Could be someone whining and manipulating at home. The Empress at home is pretending not to know about the 5D connection and the whole awakening process. So it could be a karmic, his karmic, or another karmic around him. Could be kids, could be his siblings, anyone, a friend. But there's an Empress at home pretending not to know about the 5D connection and awakening process, while the twins in union are rising above, as well as kids at home. Because kids, they catch on quickly. They really get this stuff. Also dealing in the justice system and frustrated, wanting to express their thoughts and feelings of being an unwilling part of a third party, or that someone's been spying, karmic surprised when the Emperor has turned his back on her for his destined connection. Sweet love of Queen of Swords speaking her truth. Now crowning and rising up to tango, Here we have the Seven of Flames. Okay, so you can see a little bit better. Okay. Happy King of Cups, letting go to fix things up regarding rejection, or 3 generations of difficult women in his life. Saying goodbye to discover his gold coin again. An opportunity to learn, to see new perspectives without deliberating forever due to 3 women or just too many women interfering in his life. So purging stress and tears of negative self-talk and need to protect self with Queen of Swords reflection, or possibly 2 brothers or a father and son connection. King of Cups and King of Swords, always with women looking in on him, and this is specific to the King of Swords, sneaking up on the Emperor behind his back, third-party connection, cutting off sexual energy until destined reunion happens. So soon for the masculine is him getting out of the mental prison. Okay, and this is all about anxiety. Awaiting, soon out of this mental prison, anxiety gone, rising above, opening his heart and leaping into faith, giving up the battle of wounds, grounding and integrating shadow aspects of himself, destined to anchor as the King of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles into union. He's seeing himself as karma, opening crown and lotus, high priestess or secret or psychic energies, going within to find destiny, while the Sphinx keeps bird in check. All right, and that can definitely represent our guys. Okay, so whether it's Archangel Michael or Metatron or Thoth or Jesus or whoever it is, keeping the karmics in check, and the divine feminines as well, depending on how this is supposed to all go down. So for the romance angels, for the masculine, we're honeymoon, release your ex, wedding, that this situation involves marriage, and this could be the one, as well as make the effort that love, great love is worth the effort. Around him, or how he is seen, is the Strength card, but it was completely covered except for the nose and whiskers. So this is around him, whoever's around him, or how he could be seen, is a Leo or Sagittarius, or it could be someone with both energies, sniffing around, putting their nose and whiskers where they don't belong. Queen of Wands in the aftermath of strong dream and a quest, or in the aftermath of Leo Aquarius mess, a need to win for her to be right all the time, while the divine masculine with new passion and creativity with the right hand, but choosing twin with the left hand, and finally finding dominion over his right world. So the masculine world that he's known, he's finally getting dominion over that. So the Queen of Wands was definitely coming up on that, the tiger on the Strength card. So that could definitely represent the karmic in his world, but the Queen of Wands can also represent his feminine energy, or ego. So the need to clear blocks of feeling stranded, like the little drummer boy following the North Star to connect with the baby when not in his power, and feeling uninspired, to find both once again. So there's new beginnings here for the masculine, but even more so is rebirth. The Queen of Cups nurturing and manifesting, or the Queen of Cups and the Magi or Magician now stand side by side, the wounded warrior holding back passions to get over loss, or just frazzled in their energy with intentions to ride in, but then drops at the last minute due to just exhaustion or due to healing emotional losses. So the last, I usually only have the last card plus the after the read card, but I just do have the 2 today. This was the blocks that he needs to clear. And then the final cards were the Wounded Warrior and the Knight of Cups together here. Okay, and that can definitely be the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine together. Okay, so the Wounded Warrior reunion with Page of Cups, Queen of Swords, to cut through the BS and get a hug. The Knight of Cups reunion with the Wounded Warrior, getting wish, satisfied on his own in knowing about Divine Feminine being left out, and waiting to start over in love, or wanting to start over in love. Holding their tongue, but standing in truth, dropping burdens and confessing that the worst is over as far as verbal abuse and or silent treatment, or just the Queen of Swords not being in her truth, just like the Divine Feminine has seen the Divine Masculine as not being in his truth. Now, Masculine offering love. There's definitely a sidebar here with the clarifying cards that there was a bad choice in rejection that was unfair, or there's a divorce that's still pending. So arrows of love from the Divine Feminine are noted here as received. Caught by the Divine Masculine, he now sees them now and riding in for a new life and union. Karmic Leo and or Sag, nosy about the King of Cups twin and or kids left out in prison of isolation but rising above drama as the wounded warrior in love. Divine Feminine expressing feelings to the King of Cups about his indecision. That indecision is a decision, and as we turn the page, it was 51 again. The page prior to this, well, the top of the last 3 pages was 13, which is death and transformation. Then it was 32 of the 6 of Wands guy, the messenger, the journeyman coming in. And then as we turn this page is 51 of the King of Swords. And talking about indecision of the masculine, that not making a decision is making a decision. It's just you taking away your choice. You're allowing now someone else to make decisions for you about home, union, twin, kids, and rising up above and feeling left out, but rising above the drama in order to tango with karma and free self of anxiety issues, and karmic Sagittarius Leo with long-reaching whiskers, grounding and integrating, wishing on a star as the wounded warrior and Knight of Cups come together for a reunion, for love. Okay, so that was the masculine read today. I'll do the oracle cards as well in a separate read. It was just 32. And again, 32 is the 6 of Wands, is the journeyman, right? It's the getting good news, it's having success, getting attention, but also being the leader, leading the way. So I'm going to show you the read. This is the basic read for today for the masculine. And then the full read as well. I think there were any cards that dropped out today. Okay, so I'll do the oracle cards next. Make sure you drink your water and get plenty of rest. There's a lot of weird transitional energies going on right now. So just do your best to stay stable, and take it easy if you need to. And rise and be loved, guys. Bye.